What's good, Ravens fans? It's your boy JG from the Ravens Space. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We're going to do a reaction to Rich Eisen trying to decipher our GM and what he means when he talks about the contract situation and the injury. Let's jump right on in.
A conversation in divisional playoff weekend to discuss a team that came close to making it, didn't make it, and now has to turn their attention to what do they do with their quarterback, who is supremely talented, who is a former MVP, and who is staring at a franchise tag because, as it appears, wants a contract fully guaranteed that ownership and management is not willing to give him. We're talking, of course, about Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. And as I have said over the last week plus, any other situation, you would feel like the quarterback and the team is done with each other. And, I can't wait to get to the combine because that's where everybody talks. I mean, when I say everybody talks, everybody talks. Some scouts you've never met, some people in organizations you never met, you get one drink at the bar and then off to the races they go. Or agents or this or that. And I hear chatter coming out of the mid-Atlantic that says, all's going to be fine. And then the other one is like, this is dumpster fire. And the management team, coach and general manager, met with the media yesterday. And once again, the Baltimore Ravens put the sunniest possible spin on the situation. Or it's not spin at all. This is truly the way it is. And in the NFL, it's so tough to believe something is the way it is.
And Rich is 100% correct about that. Don't listen to the coaches, don't listen to the GMs. We've seen in the past that coaches say, oh, I love this player. The GMs say, I love this player, and that player is gone. You cannot listen to them. What you can listen to, though, most of the time is the players, just because they're not as talented as the coaches are as spinning that information. But since we haven't heard from Lamar or his agent / his mom on this one, it's up in the air. But when it comes to my own personal opinion, I do think Eric Decosta wants to get a deal done. The question is, what number, right? It's going to have to be a number that makes them both happy. And I don't think anything's going to happen until after Joe Burrow's contract, so we can really see what is the cost, what is the going rate for a star quarterback whose team is nothing without him, right? We need to know what that is, and then we can talk about everything else. And right now, we don't know what that rate is. So
John Harbaugh and Eric Decosta, head coach, general manager of the Ravens, spoke again about Lamar Jackson yesterday, that he's their guy. And I think Harbaugh said he's crossing his fingers and his toes, that everything works out with this contract.
Yeah, crossing all 10 fingers.
He's going to stay. Yeah. It's going to happen. And this soundbite from the general manager is what sets my spidey sense off still.
So, and before it gets into the soundbite, I do want to say, though, John Harbaugh would want Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson has been saving John Harbaugh's bacon for a long time now. 3 years is a long time. We see what happens without Lamar Jackson. All those wins in this current iteration of the team, because remember, guys, this is the first year they've been paying Lamar Jackson even anywhere close to what a good quarterback gets paid, right? I believe $20 million. So all the time before that, they've had to choose where they spent their money. They chose to spend on offensive linemen who get hurt, on running backs who get hurt, on defensive corners who get hurt. They chose that, right? So you have to remember, right, when you see that there's no talent at the wide receiver position, it's because they chose not to address that position and get talent there that cost, right? When you draft, again, we can say whatever you want to say about the great drafters in this league. When you draft a player, you're hoping, right? When you buy a stock, if you're not the S&P 500, when you buy one single stock, when you buy a crypto you never heard of, you're hoping. You don't know. You think you're right. You're hoping you're right. But if anyone's ever done this stuff, sometimes you're wrong, right? And so, and most of the time, right, if you're right, like let's say Bateman was a success. Just because you draft a receiver that's a success doesn't mean he becomes Justin Jefferson, right? It doesn't mean you draft a receiver that's a success and he becomes Jamar Chase, right? A good draft pick at the position that Bateman was drafted turns into a good starter. He could be a number two receiver. That's a good starter, right? And for some reason, we went into this season thinking, something that is already not a high likelihood of success. Go look at the failure rate of first round picks. It's higher than you think. And go look at the star rate. Which first round picks, for example, make it to the Hall of Fame? What percentage of first round picks make Pro Bowls? It's low. It's very, very low. And so you have to remember that. It's very, very, very low. And so even thinking that, it would be like if someone said, Jason, go make me some money. And the first thing I thought was, let me put money into the stock market. And it's like, well, yeah, but even if you did a good job in the stock market, you'll get 10%, right? That doesn't make me enough money. You know what I'm saying? In 1 year. And that's what we were trying to do. So hopefully you guys, that made sense. I'm hoping. So let's see what Rich has to say about this clip.
Still, by the way, this is after the players, to a man, essentially, said Lamar's our guy. He's walking around limping. He couldn't go. He was sick. That's why he wasn't there for his teammates. If he could have been there, he would have been there. He couldn't have been there. So that's why he wasn't. And boy, I hope he comes back. And so
why can't we just take it
as it is?
As it is. And I mean, I know you're not like digging for it, but like maybe
the reason why is just listen to this answer from the general manager of the Baltimore Ravens when asked if.
Let's see what Eric Decosta says.
Because it was a contractual situation. Because again, players in the NFL want fully guaranteed money. You cannot blame them for that. You can't. I will just use the most extreme example.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. And he's not even fully vested for pensions and things like that.
Medical.
Okay? So you never know what's going to happen on the next snap. And so you want your money and you want it guaranteed. So bless the Browns. They went ahead and gave Deshaun Watson, with everything going on in his life, $230 million, all guaranteed. And we still haven't heard the exact money confirmed that was put on the table that Lamar wants put on the table, that he's fine, fully guaranteed. I'm yours. I'm signed, sealed, delivered, all that.
So I think this is very clear. You guys let me know if you think I'm wrong. I think that Lamar wants the same thing Deshaun got. Point blank, period. That's what I think. Now, whether he should get it, that's whatever. I think the Ravens offered him 150, 130, guaranteed, fully guaranteed, and then the rest in bonuses, incentives, things like that. Probably something to deal with playing all the games, right? And that is the issue. The issue is nothing else but that. And maybe, let's say 90% of that was the issue, 10% was Greg Roman, right? So that's what I think. And I think it's pretty clear from the reporting that's going on, to be honest. So
still haven't heard that. But in the NFL, when a player doesn't get the contract he's looking for, then I have heard many situations where they're like, I'm hurt. I'm not going to go and put on the brace. I'm not going to go and take a shot. I'm not going to do it. They're not putting it out there for me. So I go out there. As RG3 said, he put on a brace and he made a mistake and his whole career changed because of it. That's the general sense of things. So,
and that's a good point that we have to take into account, right? Football players are putting their entire livelihood into this. Their entire life. And again, I know a lot of us are thinking, well, he already, has millions of dollars, right? But he has at least another, let's say he plays his entire career. He has at least another $200 million to make. And so you can't do that. And especially when Rich had it perfectly when he said, the team is not committed to you the way that you are committing to them, right? Regardless of what you say, right? It's important to understand that you are giving your body, you are risking injury, you're risking the rest of your earning potential as a football player for a team who is making money on your body, right? Let's, again, however you want to say it, the team is not giving you money for free. Okay? The team is not giving you money out of the kindness of their heart. You are selling, especially in Lamar Jackson's case, right? Maybe not in an offensive lineman's case, but specifically in a Lamar Jackson's case, you are selling millions of dollars in jerseys, right? You are selling millions of dollars in tickets. You are selling millions of dollars in TV rights, especially for Lamar Jackson, right? Because he is so entertaining as an athlete. You can, if you like, it's kind of like in how basketball, when LeBron doesn't play, the ratings go down. Lamar Jackson is one of those athletes. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. You know, if they do not play, ratings go down. Point blank, period. Ticket sales, because of Lamar. Guys, I'll go to the Ravens games, okay? You should see what a Ravens game looks like when Lamar is playing versus the Steelers, even though it's been a while, versus when he's not playing. There's a difference. There's a difference, and we have to all acknowledge that difference. That's all I'm saying.
It's a legit question to ask of the general manager. Was your guy hurt, or is it contractual? Here's the answer.
Because Lamar Jackson didn't have a guaranteed long-term deal, do you feel Lamar's absence, or was that contract?
I mean, Lamar could speak to that, but my feeling is no. I think Lamar was hurt. We see him every single day, Jameson. He's hurt. And his unique style as a player, as a quarterback, but as a mobile quarterback, as really a freaky type of athlete out there on the field, having a knee injury, a serious knee injury, it makes it difficult. And so just unfortunate, that he got hurt, the timing of it. I know he was trying to come back. We'd see him daily. I've spent a lot of time over the last 2 years down in the training room. And, Lamar, along with a lot of other guys, were trying to get back and play. And it was just bad timing, and I think bad luck for us and bad luck for Lamar.
It was bad luck. There's no question about it. They're such a better team with him. But the thing that sets me off is like, you got to ask Lamar that. That's number one. And then number two, I think he was hurt. Is it on the MRI or is it not?
Yeah, do you know? You should know for a fact.
I mean, unless he didn't go into.
Okay, I hear what Rich is reading into. I really do. I think he might be taking it a little far. Lamar, do I think Lamar was hurt? Yes. Do I think if Lamar had a fully guaranteed contract, he'd be playing? Yes, I do think that. I think he would have braced it up. Or honestly do think he would have braced it up. And then they would have kept an extra running back in the backfield on passing plays. They wouldn't have ran the ball like they do, but I think he still would have laced it up. So, okay, yes, but two things can be true. He can be hurt, but also he could have played if you showed confidence in him by giving him the money that he says he wants and he says he deserves. So, but I do see where Rich is going. Not a total zero on this one, but not a total win either, in my opinion, for Rich.
Did he not go in the tube? Get the pictures taken of his knee. That's what sets the spidey sense off. Something there. And I'll say this. If they wind up trading Lamar Jackson, these two guys, Harbaugh and Decosta, deserve an award with the rest of the locker room to keep anything that brought about the trade, whatever it was. And when it'll not come out from the Ravens, they'll end up saying they decided to go in a different direction, or ask Lamar, and Lamar will go to his next spot and he'll be happy and say that's the past, and there'll be a 30 for 30 on it, and a deep dive somewhere where it all comes out or something like that. But this is either A, absolutely the way the team feels, and I'm just telling you how I feel, how I'm seeing it, and how I'm reading it. And he winds up signing a long-term contract, and then we'll see how he plays, right? Then we'll see who the new offensive coordinator is going there, because Greg Roman is gone. The guy who they Ravens turn to and say, let's change our entire playbook around midstream of the season and turn him into an MVP candidate, which is exactly what happened in 2018 and 2019. That's exactly what happened. To show how he can win football games and play at an incredibly high level in a style and a manner that few other teams even attempt and be successful at, like they are. By the way, they almost won the football game without Lamar on Sunday. Let's not lose sight of that. How good a team it is to build, that's been built, and how well it is coached, truly. To almost go into Cincinnati, a team that can easily win in Buffalo this week and easily spoil the Kansas City Chiefs party just like last year. We all know that. And the Ravens almost...
Spoiler alert, for anyone who is watching this, they did. They definitely went in and they beat the Bills, and they gave them that work, actually, in the snow. So they gave them that work.
knocked them out with their backup quarterback. So what I'm saying is, it is possible that they do feel this way, and my spidey sense is way off. And then I'll, come on this air and say my spidey sense was way off. But I feel he was hurt. I mean, there's an MRI. There's a training staff that looks at his knee. Like, is it a 2? Is it a 3? What is it strain? Like, what do we got here? They know. Lamar knows. He tweeted it out. Okay. A 3 is a total tear of your knee. I mean, like that's a tear of your knee. You've torn your ligament. You need surgery for that. You're not playing with that. I get it. So all I'm saying is let's see how it all plays out. The combine is going to come, and I'm sure I'll hear from people. You are off. You are way off, or you're on. That's what people are going to say.
Yeah.
I've been there before. It's my 20th combine. It's coming. But the Ravens have gone through this year with Lamar not having the contract that he wanted. The team didn't give it to him. He got hurt. That's the exact things. What's going to happen if he gets hurt? What happens? Well, what happened was he didn't play the last 6 games. They lost in the playoffs. They got one and done. And now what? Didn't Decosta say it takes 2 to tango or something like that?
Takes 2 to tango about the contract.
They want him. They love him. They think that they can win with him. They want him back. They want him as the face of their franchise.
And so, again, the injury thing, I know the Ravens, again, in a contract negotiation, you want to put all the blame on the quarterback. I get that. But the offense that the Ravens run leads to injuries, right? Running quarterbacks get injured more, right? Now, again, in Lamar's case, right, to even bring it up sucks because he's not getting injured running the ball. But they're saying that the effects of an injury have a greater effect on Lamar because of his style. So, it is what it is. I just think that's unfair to Lamar, to be honest. But it is what it is in this game. I understand. I just think that the Ravens have something to do with these injuries more than they want to let on, to be honest. So,
but you got to ask Lamar if it was money or it was hurt. I think he was hurt, says the general manager, who no doubt was told by training staff what an MRI said. I mean, these are facts, and the Ravens choose to play it this way, or they want to have it this way, however you want to term it, that this guy could still be traded. And if they do, they're going to get max value because they haven't let a hint hit the fan. Not a hint of it, which is amazing. Or they really feel this way about him, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Because this year was totally a disappointing finish.
Yep. So
Lamar's not signing a long-term contract. What's going to happen this year? Well, what's going to happen is they're going to win a lot. Then he's going to get hurt. They're not going to have him for the rest of the year. Offensive coordinator gets fired. You get one and done. That's not the Ravens picture that they wanted to have come back from the old school dark room.
And so I'm going to end it there. Rich 100% right about that. It's such a weird scenario because his injury proved everyone right. That's the weirdest thing. Lamar Jackson's injury proved everyone right. It proved that the Ravens are right that paying a guaranteed contract isn't good business for an injured player. Lamar Jackson was right by saying that without me, you're not good, right? The offense is not good without me. So you need to pay me. And then even, like he said, the things that happened in Buffalo with Damar Hamlin also proved that, hey, maybe the NFL as a whole should rethink guaranteed contracts if they care about their players, right? Like he said, Damar Hamlin isn't invested into the lifetime health insurance. He played the game and his heart stopped, but isn't guaranteed lifetime health insurance. We got to rethink. That's what I'm saying. That's why I thought, the guarantees would happen. We have to rethink some of this, and it's just interesting to see what's going to happen. So you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think about the situation. Do you think Eric Decosta was kind of being sneaky like Rich Eisen thinks? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks.